disappointed because the self-evident value of Temperance Flat was lost on the majority in this commission. But it's not lost on us. We live here and we know the self-evident value. We have a river watershed that flows something like 1.5 million acre-feet every year, year over year. It drops into a reservoir of 500,000 acre-feet. Just up the road, there's Kings River, 1.5 or so million acre-feet flowing into Pine Flat. That is a reservoir of 1 million acre-feet. Now anybody, and the commission should know this, that when you have water flows like that into a bathtub half the size of what we need, it will overflow, and that's what we have seen.
Means that there's much more work ahead to make this project a reality. For decades, the San Joaquin Valley has had a unified voice and a shared positive belief in the benefits that would come from Temperance Flat. From our rural communities to our growers, storing more water is beneficial for every member of our community. This project is about the people of my community who have been underserved for far too long. I believe there is plenty of evidence that Temperance Flat Reservoir will benefit the public in many different ways and should be funded. I will continue to fight for Temperance Flat until it is completed.
Tremendous outpouring of support of 30 people who spoke on this particular project during public comment. 26 of them were supporters, and all of our Valley delegation or their representatives were present. This is a disappointment, of course, is an understatement, but I do appreciate the comments made by those who came before me. We cannot afford to give up on this project because we are dealing with a necessity for which there is no alternative. When we look at Sustainable Groundwater Management Act consequences into the future, we're looking at losing hundreds of thousands of viable agricultural productive land because we will not have the ability to water it. This project has the opportunity to provide surface water, recharge, and yes, tremendous benefits to the ecological system below the San Joaquin River confluence with the dam. This project must go forward. I am so appreciative of, again, the effort that was made. I want to say one thing too. We are 5 counties, but when you include the water districts and the cities that are part of our JPA, we truly cover the entire San Joaquin Valley, and it's 4 million people. The 4 million people of California and the San Joaquin Valley need to be heard, not only in Sacramento, but throughout this state. We are important. And what we produce in this valley is important, not only to our valley, to the state, but to the world. We cannot afford to stop this process. We must go forward. We look forward to working with our federal partners, our private investors, but this project will proceed.
Steve and Congressman Costa laid this out. They said exactly what the facts were. But I personally have witnessed a mugging by the commission. They mugged the people of the valley in a criminal act. They virtually threw their responsibility away and gave their responsibility to the Fish and Wildlife Service, who had a license to steal from the 4.5 million people in the valley. They stole from them. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. One of the things that the press really hasn't got, the biggest beneficiary of this project is the people of the city of Fresno. They were mugged this week by the commission.
8 years in the belly of the beast. A lot of time in Sacramento, fighting for water, fighting for what's rightfully ours. And the thing you find out pretty quick about Sacramento, you're never going to be given what is rightfully yours if you're from the Central Valley. You're going to have to take what is rightly yours. We had to do it with Proposition 1A. Thankfully, we had a statewide effort on that because the state kept taking from local treasuries year after year after year, taking revenue, draining down all of our money. But now, no, but you're accused of that. Well, that's what I said. You make a headline, then make your story fit the headline, right? That's what they did. And it was a perfect storm. You have a national situation with Trump that's sucking the energy out of everything. You got a governor's race that's nondescript. No issues of water are being discussed, education and major issues. And they use that as an opportunity to perpetrate on this valley, and I think the entire state, the worst criminal act that I've seen in my lifetime. Do we leave it unaddressed? I say, yeah, let's go undress it.
Was from the federal government, from the departments that took a look at the San Joaquin River and counted up and tried to analyze flows in its relationship to the ecosystem and all the other public benefits.
Including state agencies.
If that is not an indication that the staff was blinded and biased, then I don't know what is. And as a member of this legislature who sits as the vice chair of the Accountability Committee, I'm telling you, I'm going to try to get that committee to take a really good, hard look at the accountability of this commission and its unwillingness to accept regularly accepted science that developed the entire plans with respect to the San Joaquin River and then turned their back on it. I can tell you that one of those individuals who was a staff member of that committee, when responding to our proposal, sounded as if the NRDC wrote her talking points. And that is utterly unacceptable for us. And I think that there was some kind of collusion or some kind of decision-making here that absolutely has to be shredded apart, taken a look at, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ask other members of the committee I serve on to take a real hard look at accountability. Because if commissions like this can be steered by their staff to a decision that is biased against us from the beginning and was crafted and created by the very opponents of having more water, more storage, more operation, more management, oppose, something is very, very wrong. So when we say we're never, ever, ever going to give up, we're going to go find other ways of getting this thing done. We promise.